Success in business isn't just about having the right answers. It's about asking the right questions, daring to act, and never stopping the pursuit of growth.
Good evening, one and all. Welcome to this momentous occasion of learning. I am Atharva Wankhade, Student Manager at Balaji Institute of Technology and Management.
And I, Trupti Lohar, Student Manager at Balaji Institute of Modern Management,
Will
will
be
be your
your
Master
Master of
of
Ceremony
Ceremony for
for today.
today. We will ensure that every aspect of this event unfolds seamlessly and with utmost enthusiasm.
I would like to welcome you all to Ignite Spark Your Potential guest lecture series. Our guest for today is a remarkable individual who made an impact through his journey. It is indeed an honor to have Mr. Sachin Sonavane sir, who is a true corporate leader and a visionary. May I request our student manager Yash Maiti and Kanika Thakur to welcome our guest of honor.
So, for us to thrive in a very competitive world, Sri Balaji University Pune has an excellent academic program with inbuilt rigor and resilience and a process driven approach.
We would also like to extend our greetings to our Chancellor, Sri Balaji University Pune, Professor Paramanandan Balasubramanian Sir, Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. G.K. Shirude Sir, Dean, Directors, Deputy Directors, faculty members, and to all our student managers. Discipline, dedication, determination are the three values on which Sri Balaji University Pune provides career specific contemporary education with a strong emphasis on practical training and overall development of the students.
Sri Balaji University Pune is very proud of constituent institutes, namely Balaji Institute of Modern Management BIMM, Balaji Institute of Technology and Management BITM, Balaji Institute of International Business BIIB, Balaji Institute of Management and Human Resource Development BIMHRD, Balaji Schools of Arts and Sciences, Balaji School of Law, which produced exceptional student managers.
The prestigious Times of India B School Survey has ranked Sri Balaji University Pune as top 12 B schools in India and ranked top 4 among private university. Sri Balaji University is known for its 100% placement record as more than 300 companies visit a campus for internship and placements. The intense grooming and the maximum learning hour record have enabled our student manager to emerge as a leader in the corporate world.
On this gracious occasion, we fondly remember our founder, late Professor Dr. Colonel A. Balasubramanian Sir, for his vision to impart quality education to the youth of our country.
As we deep dive into the realm of learning, prepare to be inspired, uplifted, and driven to new heights, may I request our student manager, Mr. Pranav Srivastav, to introduce our guest.
Thank you, Athar. Good evening, everyone. I, Pranav Srivastava, Student Manager at Balaji Institute of Technology and Management, Sri Balaji University, Pune. I am honored and privileged to introduce our esteemed guest, Mr. Sachin Sonavane Sir, Executive Vice President, Head of Sales, Piramal Realty, Mumbai. Piramal Realty benefits from over 2 years of leadership in sales, strategy, client relationship management, and process optimization. As executive vice president, heads of sales initiatives, strengthening channel partners, and aligning strategy with organizational goals. Previously, Sir contributed as Deputy EVP and Head of CRM at Piramal Reality, emphasized collaboration, campaign execution, and team empowerment dedicated to fostering client trust and delivering results. The mission is to lead high performing teams while enhancing sales operations to support campaign growth trajectory. We are indeed fortunate to have such an accomplished and inspiring individual with us today. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Mr. Sachin Sunamne sir as he shares invaluable insights. Sir, the stage is all yours. Thank you.
Which is okay. Yeah. Sure. Good afternoon, students. Thank you so much, Sri Balaji University, Pune. Uh, I think it's great to be back at the campus, and I'm saying this for a reason because I've been here before in different capacities. Thank you, Dr. Biju Pillai, Dr. Dimple Seni, Dr. Sanjeet, Dr. Geetu for giving me a chance to meet all of you. Must say it's a very impressive campus, one of the best that I have kind of been to. Very very colorful. I always say and there is also a logic to it because in real estate as well where I kind of function. I think आधा काम तो कस्टमर जब साइट पे आता है साइट को देख के उसका काम हो जाता है ही इज इम्प्रेस कि यार ये बहुत तगड़ी चीज़ है और यहाँ पे कुछ अच्छा बनने वाला है और जब मैं घर आएगा ये जब मुझे घर मिलेगा 2-3 साल के बाद this place looks promising and it will come all the more better. So I think you guys are in a very very safe and very progressive place. I can safely say this, and thanks to all of you. And must say it has been a very warm welcome from all of you. I think one is the infrastructure, but I think what is very important is Dr. Sanjit is the warmth and how you kind of interact with your guests. And again, I take it back to my real estate industry where how you interact with the customer, how do you kind of make them comfortable. I think first 2-3 minutes of any interaction, beat any relationship, it's very important. वो धागा वहीं से जुड़ता है. Or then you automatically kind of start connecting with the customers. I think that's true here as well. So thank you so much for the hospitality. And yeah, so I am today here going to talk about a few things. Just a little bit about me. I've got about 25 years of work experience. My first 14 years was in FMCG. So I have worked with brands like Red Bull, the energy drink. Does anybody know Red Bull here? Yeah, so good. Thank God, कुछ तो effort मारा है हमने फिर. So I've worked with Red Bull. I've also worked with some alcohol brands. I would not like to name them here. And I've also worked with some premium beverages. And also in one of the stints, I have worked for a pasta brand. So roti kiya hai, kapda, I say kapda because I've worked, my first job was with Jockey, the innerwear company. I worked there as sales officer and now I'm selling real estate. So I've done roti, kapda, makan, तीनों किया है. And I've been into real estate for last 12 years. And coincidentally, my association with real estate started with the Lodha product, which is Belmondo, right across the expressway. So things have really changed over the years when it comes to real estate space and how people perceived real estate earlier and how it is now, how it's evolved, what are people thinking, and how we as future leaders can contribute to the entire business is what I would like to talk about a little bit. So although I have a presentation, I will kind of take you guys through it, but I would want it to be more interactive session. So welcome, young guns, all of you. Yeah, all of you are very very young here. It's always good to be with young people. Oh, put it here. So just as an industry, real estate is a very very critical one. I think at a human level, a house is something which is very very important. Not just from the safety perspective, it protects you from weather, from all those things. But I think from a India perspective, I think it's got a very very emotional connect as well. Uh, yeah, and there are various ways where people invest in real estate. Earlier, हमें लगता था कि real estate में सिर्फ residences है, घर हैं, but there is also commercial property. There is logistics. There is plots. You would have seen a lot about plots happening here. But I think the point I want to drive is that real estate as an industry, it doesn't ever end. And more so in India, it has got a very, very emotional angle to it. uh, बहुत सारा आई थिंक इट्स वेरी वेरी नोन एंड आई वाज स्पीकिंग टू समबडी सम टाइम बैक के ज़्यादातर शादियां इसलिए भी नहीं होती है या हो नहीं पाती है जल्दी बिकॉज लड़का या लड़की के पास घर नहीं है. जब तक आपके पास घर नहीं है तो यू ऑल्सो देर इज people are not confident to kind of get into marriages, and a house signifies the stability in somebody's career, how somebody's evolved in his life cycle. So house also symbolizes that. uh, so again, and I'll talk to you about land and other things when kind of get it right. More importantly, I would like to focus on what we as people, as managers and future managers, can contribute to the industry. uh, yeah, so I'll give an example. So uh, when I kind of got into the industry back in 2012, I never knew how organized or how evolved real estate as an industry is. We've always heard, and from my parents' days, or from, I'm sure you would have examples in your house, जहाँ पे लोग जब पुराना जब घर खरीदते थे, people would just walk into a particular project. Somebody at a very junior level will show you some layouts, कुछ picture दिखाएंगे आपको, और फिर आपको लाला के पास लेके जाएंगे और लाला आपके साथ बैठेगा, सेठ जी बैठेगा आपके साथ और आपके साथ negotiation करेगा. Okay. uh, the industry has become more demanding right now. Customers have become more demanding. Customers have more money now. They evolved. People are traveling. People are seeing more across the world globally, and what they want is something which not something some people wanted years back. I think the demand is much more. People are asking for more, and to sell something like that, to kind of present something like that, you require a very organized and very very evolved, very very matured, and very classy set of people who can do that selling for you. Uh, have you heard about RERA as a rule? Yeah. See, real estate as a business, log were people were not earlier very confident about investing with developers. आपने देखा होगा कि बहुत सारा समय आपके घर पे कोई एग्जाम्पल होगा, फ्रेंड्स फैमिली में होगा, किसी ने पैसा लगा दिया है किसी डेवलपर के पास और सालों साल वो यूनिट को कभी मिला नहीं. बिल्डिंग को प्रॉमिस है कि बिल्डर ने कुछ बना दिया 1-2 फ्लोर और बिल्डर 10-12 साल से गायब ही है. यू नो या कुछ बना भी नहीं है, बिल्डर पैसा लेके भाग गया. इज काइंड ऑफ absconding. A lot of promises being made by developers, by sellers, but end of the day there is no regulation, there is no control over the entire industry, and a lot of people suffered because of this. Back in 2017-18, RERA as a regulation was started by the government, where it was compulsory for anybody who's selling or building to be a part of this. So if you look at some of the ads, and Pune mein, if you just kind of drive down, you'll finding umpteen number of hoardings with developers and projects. Just if you start from expressway right up to if you go to Baner, Wakad, Hinjewadi, you'll find all those hoardings. Everybody will have a RERA number. So RERA number is something which signifies that you are kind of adhering to all the uh, rules and regulation. So typically, so one of the most important things about RERA is that अगर मैं developer हूँ, मैं customer से पैसे ले रहा हूँ, I have to invest that money into that particular project only. Earlier ये होता था कि हम एक developer होता था, वो पैसे लेता था एक project के लिए, वो दूसरे project में पैसे डालेगा. यहाँ पे थोड़ा बनाएगा, दूसरे में डालेगा, यहाँ पे construction नहीं हो रहा है, वहाँ पे थोड़ा construction करके तीसरे project के लिए पैसे लेके वो पैसे घुमाता था. Now RERA says that whatever you collect in that particular project can't go out anywhere else. Okay, there is a clear deadline, and you will see there's a RERA date that is always mentioned. December 28, yeah, June 29. A developer has to deliver the particular building completely. A customer gets the handover before that date. अगर उसके बाद उसको अगर वो delay होता है, the developer is bound to give penalty or interest to the customer. So it's a very very organized way of selling. Even sellers, for example, you might have a lot of these companies who are into mandates or who are into ICPs. I think something like a Square Yard or Property Pistol. Dr. Sanjeev, you were mentioning, they also come to you. So even each seller needs to have that certification. There is a RERA exam that needs to be given so that you're qualified. So it become a very qualified and organized way of functioning. Uh, there are channel partners. Everybody knows channel partners, brokers, agents. So even channel partners, for them to do this business, they have to give a certain exam. They have to qualify. Only then they can kind of get into this business. So RERA has actually given a lot of comfort to customers, also developers, because earlier a lot of channel partners would missell the product. So that's why you have a lot of organized people coming in. You'll find a lot of those standalone developers, builders जो पहले थे, अभी वो गायब हो गए. उनका intention कभी था ही नहीं कि हमें अच्छा product बना के देना है. They were in the business because they wanted to fleece money. Some some people made a little bit of money and moved out, but not a lot of them did not kind of keep the promise. You'll have a lot of organized players right now. Some of the top, and the very fact that this industry is very very stable is that the facts like companies like Godrej and Tata, they are group companies. They are into the business, and that also gives a lot of stability to the industry. Piramal as a group, where I come from, we are also a group company. We are into financing. In fact, we finance to a lot of developers. We also have our pharma company, and we have the other NPCs that we have. So companies like us are in the business, which also gives a lot of confidence to a buyer that they are in safe hands. So RERA has played a very important, it's been a game-changing regulation in the industry. So some of the key things why somebody invests in real estate, and I think Dr. Sanjeet asked me this question that, in fact, one of the interviewers asked me the question that why are people buying, especially NRIs हो या बाहर के लोग यहाँ पे क्यों खरीदते हैं? I think one is obviously people want to have a safe haven. They want to have safety and they want to have a house. But a lot of people also use this as a investment tool. So if you look at some of the portfolio managers like Motilal Oswal or all those HNI wealth managers, they would also suggest real estate as a very very safe haven to kind of invest in. So like you would invest in gold, you would invest in your insurances, mutual fund. Real estate is something which is now becoming a very very popular trend to invest, and it is more important from a Bombay perspective. Bombay में the capital appreciation is very high. If you understand capital appreciation, for example, अगर हमने कोई घर खरीदा last year 1 crore में, अभी वो 1 crore 5 lakh में जा रहा है, तो 5% appreciation has happened and so on and so forth. So people in Bombay, because it is a scarcity of land, people invest into real estate. Lot of people invest in plots. अभी आपने देखा होगा Karjat या Goa. Lot of people invest there. So I think that is also becoming a trend in terms of investing. So consumer behavior also has changed now, and I was having a discussion with somebody post COVID. So a lot of people ask कि COVID में क्या हो गया? COVID में दुनिया रुक गई थी, सारे घर से ऑपरेट कर रहे थे, बिजनेस का क्या होगा? You'd be surprised, post COVID the sales grew phenomenally. They kind of skyrocketed. Anybody would know what the reason could be? Why post COVID sales बढ़ गए? Work from home, correct? Sorry? Investment, okay. So I think and we did this consumer study, and you will also appreciate how quickly developers also change their strategy. जो लोग कोविड के टाइम घर पे रहे थे, so इतना टाइम लोगों ने घर पे स्पेंड नहीं किया था. So typically people are like in Bombay. I was telling somebody that I leave my house at 7:45 in the morning. I'm back by around 10 because you're traveling so much. The only time you see your house is when you come back home. You sleep and then you go back. So जब लोग घर पे थे उनको पता चला कि actually हमारा घर कितना बड़ा है या कितना छोटा है. That's when people realize that यार ये घर में ये कोना भी है और ये मेरे लिए कम पड़ रहा है. A lot of people wanted कि यार I need to have a small space where I can do some work from. A lot of people realize कि एक पूजा रूम भी होना चाहिए. COVID है, बचाने के लिए we also need all that stuff. So a lot of people realize that, and quickly, and I was in Gurgaon at that point of time, and we quickly realized that our next projects, immediately we started a concept of having a small room, which was a workspace, or within the amenity space, there was also a business center that was given. So आपके पास क्लब हाउस में क्लब हाउस होता है, स्विमिंग पूल होता है, एक बिजनेस सेंटर का भी lot of people started that as a concept. Lot of people started कि घर के पास ही commercial offices खोल दिया, so that you have a walk to office kind of a concept. So developers also kind of evolved on that. I said some time back that people are making good money now. People are really making good money. ज़्यादातर लोग एक घर खरीदते हैं, but I think people are soon outgrowing their current house. People are traveling. People have big money. People जिनका one bed है उनको two bed चाहिए, जिसका two bed है उसको three bed चाहिए. And since people are also seeing what's happening globally, and if you happen to go to Dubai and if you see the kind of buildings there, the kind of projects there, the kind of amenities there, it is at a different level. So people are seeing that. People also want those things into their complexes. So people have the money. People want the best of things happening. Has anybody heard about pickleball as a sport? Suna hai? Okay. So pickleball as a sport is something which is coming up, is in vogue right now. And very recently we added that as a sport into our kind of project, because people had that demand. Bombay jaisi jagah mein, it's very important that people want a project which has got everything in the complex. Be it a pool, be it a gym, be it a small cafe, be it a squash court. We also have a golf simulator within our complex. We have pickleball. People travel a lot during the day. They don't want to step out of their house again, take their cars, go a kilometer, 2 kilometers away, find parking, and then go to the gym. You are giving everything within your complex. So people are very high demanding, and people will kind of spend that kind of money to kind of buy a product. But जब हम luxury बेचते हैं, कोई भी residential high revenue product बेचते हैं, we also need to have those skill set to be able to present that product to the customer. So, by the way, real estate also is very, very relative in its terms. So, I don't know. So, currently, I think Pune will have a average PSF price of, let's say, around 20,000, 22,000 in some places. And Bombay can have a very different kind of a PSF. Have you heard about the biggest deal that has happened of late? आपने किसने सुना? बॉम्बे में एक डील हुई थी वर्ली वाला. Yeah, so 11,000 carpet area sold at 706 crores. This is right on Worli sea face, overlooking the sea, and 2,75,000 rupees per square feet. That was the deal. So real estate also changes from the location to the city to the country. It can vary very differently. And that too that I'm talking about this deal, ये bare shell. Do you understand bare shell? What is bare shell? मतलब घर के अंदर कुछ भी नहीं है. You walk into a house, it's completely bare shell. There is no flooring, there is no paint, nothing. It's just space. There are electrical points, there are water points. जहाँ पे आप जो करना है करो. Can anybody say why do people take bare shell? खाली घर कौन लेता है? क्यों लेगा कोई? Yeah, customize, because if I am spending that much of money, I wouldn't want the same house as my neighbors. So I will probably use my own taste of how do I make it. I'll use the best of designers. I'll use best of marbles. There are houses where people have invested. If they bought a house for 50 crores, they have invested 75 crores on the house, and it's not a joke. It can be endless. So there is a different connotation to the entire thing. Is it going back or what? It's going back now. I think it's going back. Stick it forward. नहीं हटी जा हाँ I think it's still going back. आगे जा looks like. So why is it? So what are the different avenues that some of you can contribute or some of you can be a part of it? I just want to give you a very clear understanding of how this entire real estate space functions. I am also happy to say that the year before last year we also had students who we've kind of I'd come here for a campus placement. We got about 8 to 9 students who are working with me in my team. They joined us as management trainees the year before, and now they are in the system working as managers, and they are doing phenomenally well. And the good thing is, it's not about gender. I think we got at least about 4 to 5 girls or women working with us and doing phenomenally well. Yeah, so let me give an understanding in terms of the various spaces that you could be a part of. So largely real estate from you guys' perspective would be into sales, marketing, CRM, and property management. Sales is the most popular one because it's also very satisfying as a sector. Marketing is something which has got digital marketing or which has got the entire core marketing angle to it. CRM, anybody knows CRM? What is it? Yeah, but in terms of real estate, what does that mean? Sorry? No, that is something else. Yeah. Somebody else was saying that? So I'll explain that process to you, don't worry. So let me first talk about sales and where is that you guys can add value. Like I was saying that the customer is now becoming very demanding. Customer जब site पे, and site is typically our sales office where a customer walks in, he comes with a certain budget, और ज़्यादातर customer बड़ा budget लेके ही आता है, and जब वो customer site पे आता है तो वो चौड़ा होके आता है. For him, he's got money, he's the king, and he will be very ruthless. So he wants to interact with somebody who can actually will be able to kind of present the product to him very well. So I think what really somebody needs to understand is how do you connect with the HNI. If a guy is a 100 crore guy, 50 crore guy, or for that matter, even a guy who is probably from a humble background, but how do you handle his emotions? How do you handle that person? So that for me, consumer behavior understanding has been the best when it comes to real estate, because you are sitting with a customer in front and the customer is going through a lot of emotions when he's buying. Typically families aati hai, and families mein you will find that there are kids, there are elderly gentlemen, there is a wife, there is a husband. More often than not, the wife is the influencer, husband bichara paise deta hai. But also a lot of the time you will have kids who are influencing. So how do you present to a family, and you never know इनमें से कौन influencer है, while you present the product, but end of the day, how do you appeal to a kid there? And if you know that the kid is somebody which is the most important part of that family, which element of your project is going to excite the entire family? So for example, if there is a playground, or if there is a small play area there, a lot of the time we also, for elderly, we have those meditation corners or walkways that we do for them. We have the gym. So you have to understand what the customer is wanting and how do you kind of make your conversation relatable to the customer. So customer understanding, usko kya pasand hai, kya pasand nahi hai, how do you greet him, how do you welcome him. I briefly touched upon the hospitality angle. So how do you welcome a customer? How do you feel him at ease? How do you break his ego and kind of allow his mind space to kind of be on par with you, and how do you present the product? I think consumer behavior ka sabse best understanding real estate mein hi aata hai. And I was telling Dr. Sanjeev that one of the most satisfying part is when a customer comes, and a lot of the time you will find a person is buying his first house. Young banda hai, उसने लोन वोन लेके अपना घर खरीद रहा है, and the joy of that emotions that he has, and the joy of arriving somewhere in life कि मैंने घर खरीद लिया, मैं life में जिंदगी में कहीं पहुंचा. Yeah, you have people buying homes for their parents, or or those emotions, those are phenomenally satisfying places. So sales is very very important. What is also very important is to understand what's happening in competition. Agar hamara, if I have a project here, Piramal is here, what's happening in Godrej next doors, what is happening at a Lodha next doors, and so on and so forth. Because customer, when he comes to your site, is already aware of वहाँ पे क्या मिल रहा है और आपके यहाँ पे क्या है. So how do you kind of, and every project will have its positive things, also negative things. So how do you kind of shine your positive aspects and kind of underplay your negative points is something where is something which one needs to be learned. Sales may the large part of business comes from channel partners. Channel partners as brokers. They are the ones who reach out to their customer base, and then the customers come to our site. So I think interacting with channel partners on a day-to-day basis. So some of you, when you come on board or whenever you kind of get into a real estate, you will be into the sourcing business. So sourcing is nothing but going out and meeting channel partners who will get their customers to the site. So how do you interact with channel partners? What kind of information you give them? How do you excite them to work? How do you get them to work with you? How do you make sure that their payouts are given on time? Those kind of things is very important. So that's one angle. The second angle is closing angle, where if you've gone to a sales office, you will find people there presenting the product to you. वो आपको layout दिखाता है, आपको video दिखाता है, AV room में लेके जाएगा. He'll show you the physical, plans and all that. That is another art that one needs to learn. So that requires excellent grooming. Communication skills is very important. We briefly touched upon that some time back. How do you interact with the customer? What do you wear? What suit are you wearing? What color are you wearing? If your shoes are polished or not. Those things are very very important. How do you communicate is phenomenally important in the business, and I think that goes true for all industries, but more so real estate, because you are interacting with the customer. For example, when I was selling Red Bull, when my team was selling Red Bull, I would sell Red Bull to a hotel or to a nightclub or to a restaurant. I will never interact with the customer. I will interact with the hotel manager. जो जाके बेचेगा. So it was B2B. Real estate is B2C. You are interacting with the customer, and he is judging you every point of time कि मैं अगर 5 करोड़ रुपया इस प्रोजेक्ट में लगा रहा हूँ, तो ये जो बंदा मुझे बेच रहा है उस टक्कर का है कि नहीं है. He will also gauge you every point of time. So you also have to be in sync with your brand. आपको देख के वो brand का he'll judge your brand basis your how you are talking, how you are communicating. CRM marketing is very simple, and marketing with digital marketing is something which is very very critical now. Almost about 15% of the business comes from digital marketing. So what kind of campaigns need to go? How much money to invest in a Facebook, into LinkedIn, or into Google PPC? Those kind of things. How do you do market segmentation? Those come into marketing. CRM is the part where once a customer gives his check, he gets onboarded. Sales से वो customer CRM team के पास जाता है. CRM is a customer relationship management. That team interacts with the customer till the time the handover of the product is done. So connecting with the customers, connecting monies, updating the customer in terms of what is the construction update. Those kind of things comes into the CRM part, and it's a very very tough job because customer कभी खुश नहीं रहता है. उसको हमेशा ज़्यादा ही चाहिए, या उसको अगर interest लग गया तो he would want to kind of cut down my interest, or penalty मेरा माफ कर दो. So he'll always, and right now the biggest thing is that people will go on Twitter, people will go on social media and saying कि यार Mr. So and so from this company, he is not being supportive, X, Y, Z. People will do that. They will try and reach and escalate to your higher management. So CRM is a very very tough but also very fulfilling job when where your communication skills and your convincing skills have to be there. Property management is nothing but facility management. I think how do you manage a particular property? How do you kind of take care of the facilities, the amenities? How do you kind of keep that up? And you have a lot of companies like Knight Frank, JLL. They are a part of this, where they kind of maintain the entire societies for that particular business. So there are various facets that one could be a part of. So one of the most important thing to understand is that this industry is going like big time. So I think right now from a current GDP contribution of almost 7%, you expect it to go to about 13% in the next 2-3 years. So your industry is never going to die. It'll always have its demand, but it'll require more polished people, more skillful people to sell. It's not like your regular selling. Like I said, your skill sets of understanding the product knowledge, competition knowledge, communication is very, very important. That's where all of you would need to kind of focus on. Um, yeah, those are the aspects I spoke about, and so these are the avenues where you can be a part of. So generally, people are not very clear in terms of real estate में आएंगे तो हम क्या करेंगे. So we've got some people who worked in CRM with us, some in marketing, but large part of you have been working into sales. Uh, like I said, large contributor to the economy, and our prime minister is also spending a lot of money on the infra, thereby a lot of development. And I was telling ma'am some time back that I was at my Lower Parel office at about 11:45. I left. I was here at 2:10. I just took a 10-minute stop at food court. So 2 hours I came from Lower Parel, which is central of Mumbai, to this part of Pune. I think that Atal Setu is really playing a big role in terms of time saving. And then you now see that the real estate space, the way it's growing, like places like Ulve or Panvel, slowly you will see that Panvel, Khopoli, and now because of the new airport, lot of sudden development is happening there. Rates are going very high. Eventually, Pune and Bombay will get connected in some way. It'll be like one city some point of time. So the infrastructure is going crazy, and I think one needs to. That's why there's going to be more construction, more people going to buy houses, better houses, bigger houses, and we need people who will be able to do justice to the sales part. And like I said, a lot of big names are in the industry now. A lot of your big companies. It's no longer limited to uh, standalone companies doing 3-4 projects. You also have group companies entering into the business and at a pan-India level. So wherever you are, I think a lot of you are from MP and some of you are from other states. I think this business will grow pan-India. Like Indore is a market which is doing phenomenally well. There are big brands going in there. Nagpur is one place. I don't know if anybody from Nagpur here. All your big companies are going there. So it's an industry which will cascade across India, and then of course you have global companies also vying for Indian people. Like if you look at Damak or Shobha, have you heard these names? Damak, Shobha, Emar back in Dubai. You have a lot of Indians working there, and the reason why they also hire Indian people is because 55% of Dubai real estate sales is done by Indians. By Indians, I don't necessarily mean people who are from India, but Indians who are also abroad. A lot of people from Kenya, a lot of people from other parts of the world buy into Dubai, and Indians buy. So that's a very proud moment for us. So a lot of Indian employees are working in Dubai market as well. Yeah, so that's how it is. I would, if you have any questions, feel free to ask, because I think it's very important to know. It's not an easy business to be in. It is a lot of struggle. Somebody asked me about work-life balance in real estate industry. मैं बोला वो क्या होता है? तो कभी सुना ही नहीं real estate में. Because the day when people have holidays, that's when the business happens. Saturday, Sunday लोगों को छुट्टी होती है. Saturday, Sunday तभी लोग site पे आते हैं. So people are working. People are working long hours. There are festive periods and people are coming to site to buy. So that's the opportunity to kind of get this. So it's a very tough sale, but the good thing is that it's a very satisfying sale because the revenues you generate is phenomenal. So when I was handling the Red Bull business back in 2008 and 12, my contribution to the entire year business was 54,000 crores. Yeah, but here on a weekly basis, my team does about 60-65 crores on a weekly basis, because every unit is like 2.5 crores minimum. It goes up to 7 crores. We just did a deal of about 108 crores last week. So it's a very, very satisfying, and also to add to it, the incentives are very phenomenal. But for me, the biggest learning is how do you understand the consumer, what a consumer thinks, how do you influence the customer. I think that's the biggest learning that I've ever had in my career from real estate business. Yeah. So I'm open to some questions if you have, and I would be happy to. I'll try and answer some of them. Yeah.
Now the house is open for questions.
Mike?
So,
Hello, sir. Sir, here. Good evening, sir. I am Triparna Sarkar and I'm a student of BIMM. So, my question is that in real estate business, there are a lot of customers who does intense bargaining. How do you deal with them?
So one has to be very confident about your product. I think there are developers who just say कि boss ये price है और इसके अलावा negotiation ही है, and we are also kind of we kind of follow that particular rule, while you would keep some bit of margins for kind of negotiation, but largely if your product is very strong and you know what market you are catering to, negotiations का scope builders नहीं रखते, because there is never an end to it. While there could be campaigns, there could be promotions, like you would have seen right now, there are very limited campaigns where you, let's say, have a festive offer. Like now, Ganpati coming up, you will have a certain offer. You come to the site on particular days, you might get let's say, a package to Dubai for two people, or you might get a stamp duty off of 2%. Those kind of things will happen. But by and large, if you negotiate too much, customer को भी लगता है यार और थोड़ा negotiate करो और करो. But if you're able to give a branded good product, customer will not open up. So sometimes it's good to say no, but the customer understands where to stop. But then you give him the best of service, best of product. But very valid question.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Can I get a hand mic?
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Sundaram Chaube. I am from BITM, Digital Marketing and Business Analytics. My question is, how digital marketing play important role in the real estate, and what was the job role of digital marketing in the real estate?
so like I said, digital marketing is contributing to about 15% of our business right now. Everybody's on phone, right? Everybody's on phone, and everybody's constantly getting some message. Also, by the way, real estate also is a very impulsive purchase. I've seen people just walking into a site and people just like something and they bought it. I've seen deals के 10-15 करोड़ वाले deals भी family just Sunday को आई है, उन्होंने देखा है कुछ पैसे देके they bought the product. So digital marketing also plays a big role because people are constantly seeing something interesting happening. So the role that you, if you're coming into the business, is to understand कि कौन से sites पे जाना चाहिए, Insta पे जाना चाहिए, Facebook पे जाना चाहिए, who's your customer segment, क्या age group में है, उसके क्या hobbies है. Like generally, if it's a luxury product, then you would also get associated to certain sites where luxury is being sold. Instagram is a very, very surprising one for us because Instagram पे सारे हैं. And we've done some large deals from Instagram. A lot of your channel partners are making those reels and they are phenomenally, very well done. So a lot of business happens over there. If you're digital marketing, you'll have to control your spends. You have to see कि हर जहाँ मैं spend कर रहा हूँ, वो मेरी cost to lead क्या आ रही है. Controlling that, identifying the right segment, and those kind of things. That's where your role will come into play. But to answer your question, 15% said this business will go much, much higher. See, for us also as developers, it's a more cost-effective business because every time a deal is done, for example, if a channel partner does a deal, average we give him 2%. Average I'm saying. So 1 crore की deal है, customer channel partner को 2 lakh मिलता है उसपे. Digital marketing, if you're able to spend, let's say, and our digital marketing का spend is about, cost to lead is about, let's say, 5,000-6,000 rupees. For example, every time a customer is reaching out to us, lead 5,000 की आती है. If he comes to the sites and book, our cost to booking is somewhere around, let's say, 75,000, 80,000. So it's still a much cheaper way of acquiring a customer. So how do you better this? How do you reduce cost? is where digital marketing will kind of play a role. Which was the you're saying from a digital marketing perspective in general? Bombay is always is most sought after because of the appreciation one gets. From a lifestyle perspective, Indore hai, Pune again is very, very, I think it's getting denser now. Gurgaon is coming up very well. So I think generally people don't, if I'm from Mumbai, I will not go and invest in a Delhi unless I have any connection there. So to each his own, I think Bombay, from an investment perspective, because I've handled outstation business for Lodha, all across the country people would invest in Bombay. The reason being, एक घर खरीद के रखते हैं क्योंकि बॉम्बे में बिजनेस के लिए जाता हूँ, हर 15 दिन में जाता हूँ, तो आई कैन हाउस देयर. My maybe my kids who probably will go and study there, so उनके लिए घर हो जाएगा, या they'll get a job there. So एक investment होता है, एक रहने का जरिया भी हो जाता है. So Bombay that way is very, very, very popular for now. Dubai is becoming very popular because Dubai is also cheaper as compared to investing in Bombay. दुबई में आपको 1.5-2 करोड़ में भी घर मिल जाएगा. Rentals are better there in Dubai. Appreciation इतना नहीं है. Yeah.
Hello, sir. I'm Sakshi.
Good morning, sir. Good evening, sir. My name is Gaurav Kumar Das. I am from BITM, Digital Marketing and Business Analytics. My question to you is that as an investor, what precautions should we take before investing in real estate?
So look at the brand. Okay, I think uh, people people have more comfort with the group companies, with brands. That is most important. Anyways, era aa gaya hai, so I think it is very safe. But I think location is very important from an investment perspective. Your appetite vis-a-vis what the location could be. For example, आपको we have a project in Thane. Have you heard about Thane? Thane market. We have a ISKCON temple in that project. वहाँ पे एक 1100 स्क्वायर फीट का घर जो बॉम्बे के लिए बहुत बड़ा है. 1100 स्क्वायर फीट इज लाइक अ बंगलो फॉर एनी मुंबईite. You might not be able to relate because some of you are from other states and your houses will be much bigger. But 1100 स्क्वायर फीट का घर is damn big. 1100 स्क्वायर फीट का घर in my project in Thane is roughly around 2 crore 15 lakhs type. वही 1100 का घर हमारा एक प्रोजेक्ट महालक्ष्मी रेस कोर्स के सामने, that is somewhere around 9 crores. So where your house is, where your location is, what is the view, what is the connectivity to the closest station, metro station, all that is very important. So you have to study those angles. So first the developer plus what is your appetite and where your investment can fit in for you to get a better rate. A lot of people also look यार यहाँ पे metro station आएगा 3 साल के बाद. People invest there because an example, I don't know if you know Andheri as a location. Andheri to Ghatkopar there was a metro that started about a few years back. जहाँ पे वो metro station आने वाला था वहाँ पे rates were about let's say 15-16,000 per PSF. Now if you go, it is in not less than 55-60,000 just because the metro has come. So Bombay में or anywhere the time is the biggest luxury is time, right? How much time you save will all depend upon your investment returns. Like Bombay में railway station के पास वाले जो घर है, because you don't need a vehicle, you can just go to the railway station and you can travel. So all those houses have a much bigger investment returns.
And sir, what all legal precautions should we take while or before investing?
RERA is the most important. RERA, bank account, कौन सा bank fund कर रहा है. It's generally banks like HDFC, SBI, all they are funded. That means it's a safe investment. So those things you have to look at. And then technically, if you look at a legal document of any developer, you will never buy a house because there's so many technicalities. It's so one-sided. But I think it's safe. I think if you have to vet it with your through your legal channel, it's pretty safe that way.
Thank you,
But
sir.
your bankers कौन है ये important है. सारे approvals, CCs, OC, all those things. That is occupancy certificate, commencement certificate. All those have come on out. Those approvals have to be taken care of. Check करना चाहिए वो.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. I'm Sakshi from BIM Marketing. So, my question is in today's economy, with rising property prices, many people are leaning towards renting rather than buying a home. From a financial and lifestyle perspective, do you believe renting is smarter choice than owning a property in long run with heavy home loans?
It's a very individual choice. What gives you comfort is what you have to look at. Like I said, in India, मैंने देखा है मेरे क्लोज क्वार्टर्स पे एग्जांपल्स, अगर किसी का रेंटल घर है ना तो लड़का लड़की की शादी नहीं हुई है, मैंने देखा है ये, बिकॉज स्टेबिलिटी नहीं है. इट इज ऑल्सो इंडिकेट्स दैट देयर इज नो स्टेबिलिटी, या इसमें कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं है घर की ईएमआई दे पाएगा या घर खरीद पाएगा. It all depends upon your comfort. I've also seen people who make good money. Their focus in life is clear. We don't want to have a house. We will rather travel every 6 months. We'll invest money there. Uh, but I'll give you the pros of why you should buy a house. I mean, end of the day, it's a capital appreciation. It will always grow because there is only limited capacity to land. So the demand will always be higher. So from an investment perspective, it's always a better. I would personally buy than rent.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Hello sir, good evening. I am Rutukesh Levande from BITM campus. As I am marketing student, what should be the key points you suggest us to understand customer psychology in real estate industry?
The customer ka need is very different, and that need changes from his age, his lifestyle. For example, a 24-year-old ka jo need requirement hai will be very different because he probably will get married in 2 years time. Okay, so he'll probably want a smaller house. He'll have kids maybe in the next 3-4 years, so probably he wants a smaller house. The moment he gets to the age of 32 33, he'll probably require a bigger house because family grows. So it all depends upon your money capacity and what do you need the house for. I think it all depends upon that. So it changes from a person to person.
Okay, thank you sir.
We are about to close the house with one last question.
Good evening, sir. My name is Purvi Jaju and I'm from BIMM. My question to you is why there's a need for an MBA to join real estate? I've known few people who start just after graduating their 12th standard and they start and they make connections and they just go on with the business. Why is there a need for an MBA and what are the tips which you will give if someone wants to join real estate after their MBA?
True. Like I said, okay, I'll give you an example. When I came into my first job back in 2012 in real estate, that time companies, and I'm talking about Lodha as a group, they were looking at people who are not from the industry. They were looking at people who are from different industries. They were looking at people from telecom. They're looking from people from hospitality industry. They're looking for people from banking, insurance. The reason they didn't want people from the real estate is because people were working with a certain set of mind that has been there for ages. They had a baggage. They didn't know how to approach a customer because your tastes, your requirements of a customer also was ever evolving. So they were not able to understand कि हम product को कैसे present करेंगे. Also, it might seem very simple, and I'll give you an example. Everything that we do in our company or most of the large companies are very thought provoking. Have you ever been to a site, a sales site कोई गया project में गया है recently? If you go to a site, there is a reason why a reception is a certain way. There's a reason why there is a AV room. There is a reason why what goes into that AV room. There could be also some creatives mentioned there. There could be also certain offers mentioned there. And that is all because of a certain study is done. It's not by logic, by fluke ke ye laga diya aur customer ki kharidega. Everything that we do, you might be getting a lot of calls, right, from real estate, and they must be talking about a certain pitch. You must be getting SMSs. You must be getting WhatsApp ki ye product aaya hai. That every message that you're getting has been thought carefully by somebody in the organization कि कितना present करना है, क्या words जाने चाहिए, क्या जाना चाहिए, how do we make it different to what the competition is giving, creative में क्या दिखना चाहिए, घर का picture दिखना चाहिए, या you just show somebody like a couple and a small kid overlooking a mountain, or you present a particular amenity there. That is all a particular thought, and that thought will only come from people who are evolved, who have a certain way of thinking.
Okay,
I'll
and
tell. Let me complete. When we do, uh, so Saturday Sundays are big days. Okay, Saturday Sunday we almost have about 200 customers coming to us, and every closing manager will attend about 7 8 customers every day. So we do reviews with with every manager, understanding how the interaction was, and वो मैनेजर ने क्या पिकअप किया है कन्वर्सेशन से, what is the kind of remarks he's mentioning. We use something known as SFDC. It's you guys must have heard it. That's where all the information goes in. वो मैनेजर की अंडरस्टैंडिंग अबाउट द कस्टमर and what is the reason he will buy, he will not buy, what is it the interaction में उसको पसंद आया है, क्या पसंद नहीं आया है, so that when he comes next time उसको कैसे बुलाएं और उसको क्या काउंटर दे. So there is a review that is done by the team lead with the manager. It's almost 10-15 minute ka discussion on every case. Why do we do it? Why do we do it? Because a deal of 3, 4, 5, 6 crores. And how one person would assimilate that information with his intelligence and bring about versus the other person, how will he be able to analyze that particular interaction is very different. So I think it's a matter of, I won't say people, otherwise people are not intellect. I think the progressive nature is very important. Ability to understand what's happening in competition is important. How do you take that particular piece? Information is very important. मेरे प्रोजेक्ट में ऐसा क्या है जो एडवांटेजेस है, या उसके पास जो ट्यूब हेड है उसकी साइज क्या है, उसका उसका व्यू क्या है, उसका वास्तु क्या है, those kind of things. So there is a lot of intellectual discussion that happens. So matlab, yeah, a lot of people are not MBAs here. Dhirubhai Ambani was not an MBA. Just had discussion. Yeah, but I think what we are seeing is that there is a certain way of demeanor, how you interact, how you conduct yourself. That is very important. That's where the entire thing, and the ability to be receptive to things, to to have a to have an ambition, to aspire to do more, to learn more, and that's where the difference makes. And I've seen that happening. And that's where you can make it. So there is a lot of analysis, not just कि customer के साथ बैठो और उसको बेच के उससे इसके पैसे लो. Lot of analysis, lot of consumer understanding happens there. That's where the need is.
okay, and how could we carry the activities out while we are doing MBA? Like, how can we grow in this field and know better so that after we graduate after MBA and then we'll be able to go thoroughly into real estate?
Sure, your management is keeping you damn busy with your
Yeah.
study load, so I don't know how much you can. But I think just understanding what's happening in the market in terms of how the creatives are happening in the market, what customer is looking for, and you just drive down and feel that every creative, every hoarding is giving a different pitch. They're appealing to a very different customer base. So that kind of learning you can do. We also have internships that we do. We have certain projects. If some of you are interested, we can kind of also look into those. But to answer your question, it's not a very it's a very ever evolving subject, and the demand of the customer is getting tougher and bigger and better. So you need people who will be able to stay up to date with that kind of business. That's why you need MBAs.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
May I now invite Dr. Ritika Singh, Associate Professor and Head of Corporate Project Studies, BITM, to felicitate our guest of honor with the token of appreciation.
Thank you, sir. May I now call upon our student manager, Mr. Om Saxena, to put forward the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. I, Om Saxena, student manager at Balaji Institute of Technology and Management, Shri Balaji University, Pune. I am truly honored to extend my heartfelt appreciation to our distinguished guest of honor, Mr. Sachin Sonavane, sir, for gracing us. Your insightful perspectives have broadened our understanding and encouraged critical thinking. Sir, your contribution in shaping the future leader is invaluable. Allow me to underscore the salient insight distilled from this enlightening session. Sir, you have educated us about the real estate industry, the need for real estates, benefit of investing in real estates, and the way RERA Act 2016 protects consumer and investor from malpractices in the marketing, and many more. Let this be the catalyst for the future ventures. With deep gratitude, we celebrate the success of today's session. Wishing everyone great evening. Thank you.
Thank you and have a great evening. Everyone, please remain seated.